The holidays are here, and it's time to start planning your holiday campaigns. That means organizing your data and using it to create smart and impactful messaging for this season. The proviso here is smart use of data that is thought out, analyzed, and acted on in the right ways. At Braze, we know it can be hard to effectively use your data, or at the very least, resource and time intensive. That's why we've done some of the heavy lifting for you by compiling a few ways that you should use your holiday data this year. Let's get started. Our first tip is to adjust your conversion criteria for the holidays and analyze conversion rates accordingly. Conversions have less meaning when your criteria are broadly defined, or defined in ways that don't make sense for your current goals. Think about what you really want to measure this year, and what your end result should be. For instance, an increase in purchases or clicks on certain promotions. Hone in on specifics. If your criteria are off base, it'll be tough to judge and analyze the success of your campaigns. Our second tip is to keep wary of the impact of volume on engagement rates. Many brands send more messages around the holidays. Be aware of this when you look at last season's data or when you make this season's big decisions. Smaller groups tend to misrepresent populations, whereas larger groups often reflect less randomness and have a lower margin of error. If you're comparing a message with 50,000 sends to one with 5,000 sends, you're likely to see a big difference between the two in terms of engagement rates, not necessarily due to differences in the messages themselves, but due to volume bias within the recipient pools. Try using A/B testing techniques to effectively compare performance across or between campaigns, or take a look at the weighted version of your data to eliminate any volume bias. Our third tip, adjust your marketing perspective based on seasonality. It's no secret that customer behavior changes around the holidays, but be careful not to misread those trends. For instance, let's say you saw an increase in open rates at the start of November. Before you attribute this uplift to your holiday campaigns, make sure to also look at your data after it's been adjusted for seasonality. From there, you can determine whether that upward trend in engagement increased in magnitude since last year's holiday season or just stayed constant. Finally, make sure you focus on the long game. While you're collecting and analyzing all your data this holiday season, don't forget about what happens next year. Start formulating a game plan to guarantee that you gather the right data for the future. This can include tracking the right events, tagging your campaigns appropriately, naming them with the proper conventions, or attributing them to the proper teams. Plan and document everything early, and your future self will thank you for it. And with that, I'll let you go for now. See you next year.